Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Guy Bigiouani, who is the CEO of Safrans du Monde. Now, what's Safrans du Monde? Well, it's a French destination management company, but it has a very interesting global product. It's actually a global air cruise that it's also doing several times a year. And we're going to talk to him about that and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. Now, Guy, first of all, it was great to meet you here. We're in New York right now, sadly not in Paris, but we started talking a little bit about, let's talk a little bit about the history of your company, Safrans du Monde.
Yes, I founded Safrans du Monde about 20 years ago. We are doing destination management for France, of course, and we are doing also air cruises all around the world with private jets.
Yeah, and that's it. And so that the marquee product now and the ones that you're selling for 23 are these new air cruises. Tell us the products you have on offer coming up for 2023.
Well, we have in March a 22 days itinerary that will start, of course, in Paris and go to Rio. Then from there we will go to Peru, to Easter Island. From there we will go to Tahiti, French Polynesia, where all the clients will choose whatever they want to have as a destination. It may be the Brando, it may be Bora Bora, it may be Moorea, or even the Marquise if they wish. And then we go on to Australia. We will go to Sydney, then to Vietnam to see the Halong Bay, and from there we'll go to Cambodia, where we will have a very interesting dinner gala show in a temple in Angkor that we privatize, and we bring the royal ballet of the Apsara dancers together with a prince that introduces the whole history of this kind of event. So it's a very very emotional moment of the tour. From there we will go to Agra and we finish in Paris, and as you know, we go first to Petra and then we will finish in Paris. And as you know, as a destination management company, we offer also for our American clients the possibility of discovering more of France.
Well, we're going to talk about the destination manager because you have very interesting products you have here. But let's close it out on the world tour, because you also have some specialties. Like I think you're developing one for just the Americas, right?
Yes. What I like in the American public is the fact that they increase the pleasure by expressing themselves when they just discover things. And the world tour has something very special. It's not about a bucket list of destination as much as it is about living a very special experience, okay, which is a life-changing experience of discovering every 3 days a new universe. So everything is something that every day something happens. And
how long typically will this world air cruise be?
The classical tour is 22 days from Paris to Paris, and it includes everything, of course, the excursions and
also the meals. You said you actually have your own private chef that you've hired for onboard meals, and then you go to some of the best hotels in the world, right?
That's correct. Well, I can quote, of course, a lot of hotels, but you just imagine every time we land somewhere, we go to the best hotel. Copacabana Palace in Rio, Oberoi Maravillas in Agra, and on board we have also a very special experience. We have crafted experiences that makes you do the world tour at every moment. In the aircraft, we have a chef whose name is Paul Cosset, for who I asked him to craft a very special experience that would be to create a fusion meal for every flight, which is a fusion between the destination of takeoff, the airport of takeoff, and the airport of landing.
Not an easy task.
Very difficult. When you are in Rio, you have to craft a meal that would include a fusion of Rio, Peruvian and Brazilian cuisine. By the way, Peru is also very interesting because thanks to our aircraft, we land directly in Cusco instead of going through Lima, which is a huge economy of time, and it's super practical. And we did this year in March a historical flight with La Compagnie that permitted us to land directly in Cusco. Nobody ever did it before.
So you have some very first and some great advantages. So, and you mentioned that you are working with La Compagnie, which is the French business class airline, I would call it, that's still around after all these years. And you take I think an Airbus Neo.
Yes, it's a 321 Neo. It's 76 seaters, all full flatbed. We keep, of course, the same crew. We have 3 pilots, the same crew. We have our own team. We have a doctor. We have a tour director. We have escorts. We have a photograph that takes pictures and a movie for the clients. We have a lot of surprises that we give the clients that makes us really different than what exists on the market.
No, and that's it. There's a couple others in the market, but you have some advantages. Now, what is the price point? Because you actually have 2 price points for this, right?
Yes, we have. Let's speak for the next itinerary in March. We have 2 ways of traveling, the one that we call Le Club, the other one that we call La Première, Safran. And it starts from 65,000 euros all included for Le Club. And the Première Safran is 100,000 euros per person, which includes everything, and still you get the best hotel, 50 meter square rooms at least. We got a very good wine list on the. Well,
as you should actually.
I mean, you can drink Chateau Margaux, you can drink a lot of very nice drink. In 2019, we did something very special on the Halong Bay. We had a degustation of Romanée Conti.
Okay.
You cannot buy it. You have to have special authorization to buy a bottle, and we could share these 2 bottles that we have with our clients and with the explanation of our sommelier. It was really a very rare experience. Imagine on a boat after sunset on the Halong Bay, and you drink a Romanée Conti. This is really special.
That is a good experience, I got to tell you. So you'll get these kind of experiences for your clients. And you actually, another thing, you have these price points, but you also pay 10% for commission for travel advisors, right?
Yes, it's correct.
Yeah, which is maybe a little different from some of the others. But now let's talk a little bit about your DMC operation in France, because you can also set up within France for individuals or small groups some exclusive experiences all over the country, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And for the DMC, it's quite similar to what we're doing for the air cruises. It is not only selling France, it is selling our France, the way I like to travel in France and to encounter people. So we have a lot of experience that we craft. We do personalized, of course, travels, but if I give you some example, when you go to south of France, I like you to meet someone who is passionate by bowling, you know, these balls, not bowling, sorry, pétanque.
Pétanque, yeah.
So you go there in a very nice place, you have a Pernod or a pastis, whatever pastis you will get. You will have all the explanation for a pétanque game, and you will have also the testimony of senior people who used to play with very famous people such as Yves Montand or Pompidou. There are a lot of stories about the pétanque, and this is the kind of things we like to show. To go to Nice, easy. To go to this kind of experience, not easy.
Right. So you have these special experiences that you can develop. And so typically, how long are people booking these? Obviously, these are made to order. But tell us a little bit about how long do people actually book for these experiences?
Well, our DNA is bespoke, so right. We could do last minute, but we love to do ahead in time, so we have time not only to craft the tour, but also to exchange with the client, with the travel agency, to make sure that what we provide is exactly the idea the client has. On this, we will add our specials and the surprises, because we love surprises.
So you can go anywhere from a few days to 10, 20 days in France. Oh, yeah. And I think you said to me...
We can even do a Tour de France.
Tour de France. So you can select the regions you want to experience, right?
Yes. And speaking about the Tour de France, when you say Tour de France, generally you think about cyclism. We think about cyclism, but we think also about the companions. I don't know if you heard this concept of the companions. All the masters of any métier, how do you say métier in French? Profession, yeah. Has to go and walk a lot of kilometers and meet several people in several regions in order to learn their activity and this is the way they could get at the highest level. So it's very nice to do a Tour de France being inspired either by the popularity of the cyclism and being inspired by this Tour de France of the Compagnon, which are very old tradition for many centuries in France. So we like very much to get you either to the historical side, to the concept of France, the character of France, and also, of course, to modernity of France, because France is really changing a lot these times.
Absolutely. And you also stay, again, in some of the best hotels in France as well.
Yes, definitely. I could drop names, but I think it's...
And I'm sure you're drinking great wine, too. Sounds amazing, both for what you do in France and, of course, this air cruise, the world tour, which, there are not that many out there, but this is one that you may not have heard of before. But Guy offers something very unique, very different, and maybe for a higher commission point. So take a look at what he has. Now, where can travel advisors contact you, and where can they find out more about the company?
It's very simple, safransdumonde.com, safransdumonde.com, and you will find everything in English. And of course, you will find our email, and you will find even my direct email, which is guy@safransdumonde.com.
Fantastic. Hopefully you'll get a lot of people saying, hey, look, I got some clients that could work for this, both for your world experience and also obviously for France.
I'd be very happy, and I'm on board also for the air cruises, so I meet your client and I can assist, of course, you at any time.
Fantastic. Well, Guy, wonderful to meet you again. Great company. Looking forward to hearing more about it as we go along. And again, thank you for taking the time here on a beautiful day in New York, which is a little different. We're not in Paris, as I said, but someday we'll do this interview in Paris. How about that?
Well, it's a pleasure.
I'm James Schillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.